welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leandra the TBR0, and today we're figuring out what my March TBR is going to be with the use of my TBR game board lost in the library. This is our third month in a row in which we're going to be preparing for our TBRathon weekend event, the first weekend of every single month, and this time around it's taking place the 7th and 8th of March. I'll be hosting sprinting events. I may host an evening event on the 6th of March. I'll keep you all posted on that, but I'm really excited. Thank you all so much for continuing to be interested in this year-long challenge that is TBRathon. If you don't know what that is, I'll have the announcement video linked below, but it is year-long. You can participate as little or as much as you want. There are 3 different challenges you can choose to participate in. I'm going to be hanging out in the Map of Stories per usual. Every single month I choose a different location. This time around I'm hanging out in the Whispering Well. That is my location inspired by middle grade fiction. So if you have any middle grade recommendations, I'd really appreciate it. The prompts that I actually want to complete though are a child protagonist and or a child on the cover. So yeah, let me know, because I've realized I haven't chosen my book yet. I'm posting my TBR video and yet haven't even thought about it. So yeah, help a girl out if you can. I'm hoping to get a high number of rolls so I can get a really stacked TBR, which is completely opposite to the tone I had in February, mainly because while we're surviving February, which is winter where I live, March isn't much better. It's usually quite dreary, still cold, windstorms are prominent, and I'm worried I'm going to be stuck inside more days than not, which is fine if I have a good book. And on top of that, if I have good indoor activities to keep me busy, keep my body moving, and you know who's got my back for that? Craftsy, today's sponsor. For those who've been following my crocheting journey, no, I'm not an expert yet, but my granny square blanket is coming along slowly but surely. But I'm also trying to take advantage of my membership with Craftsy in other ways, specifically their yoga and meditation sessions. For those who are already members, I highly recommend Back to Basics Joyful Yoga, Chaturanga for Beginners, led by London-based yoga teacher Emily Harding, especially if you're looking for strengthening more than flexibility. But obviously we're doing yoga, so flexibility is guaranteed anyway. But of course, if yoga, meditation, and crochet is not your speed, Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. Craftsy has a supportive online community made up of over 2,000 amazing classes that can help you with your own 2026 goals. Cake decorating, cooking, photography, painting, and so much more. The first 1,000 people watching this video who take advantage of the QR code on screen, scanning it right now, or taking advantage of the link in my description will get the first year of Craftsy Premium for just $1.49. This is an offer for new members only. Take advantage of it if you can, because there's so much to gain from Craftsy as a member. This community is amazing. Obviously, I'm having the time of my life, and I hope you will too if you take advantage of it today. Thank you so much again, Craftsy, for sponsoring this video. And if you have already taken advantage of Craftsy's offer, let me know in the comments which courses I should try out next. The first thing I'm going to have to do before I start building my March TBR is deciding how many times I'm rolling my die. And to do that, I've got the help of a D8. I know I want a stack TBR, but I also already have a laundry list of priority reads that I'm crossing my fingers will make their way onto this TBR. And so I don't want to go crazy with a D12 or something like that. So let me roll a D8 and then figure out which room I'm going to start in based on that number. Okay, let's roll my D8. And we've got 7 rolls ahead of us. That's nearly the most rolls I could give myself, so good job, Leandra. Now I just gotta grab my ghost, and I'm probably just gonna do adult fiction. Why not? All right, I said stacked TBR, and the die gods decided to give me 7. So I'm going to be rolling 7 times. I'll have an 8th prompt because of the room I'm starting in, and as you saw, I've decided to go with adult fiction. That's because my priority list of reads are all adult fiction, so it doesn't really make sense for me to go anywhere else. And the book I'm reading for this room is Kill the Beast by Sarah Swift. This is a read I know very little about. I know it's a newer release. It came out late 2025, and I had my eye on it until I saw it marketed as a fantasy romance. And I knew that that just is not usually a genre blend that works for me. However, Danny Dabbles just read this book and she really enjoyed it. And she says that It's definitely more fantasy, and there is a romantic subplot that is part of the entire book, but it's not the main focus, and it's quite a slow burn, so I'm going to give it a shot. In fact, I'm going to be reading it with Louisina, the reading ace, and it's going to be a fun buddy read. Hopefully it's a winner for us. We'll just have to see what happens. Here's the first roll, and I got a 4. Okay, I've got 4 directions I could choose from. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, TBR, playing it safe for now, just to get those priority reads in. Once again, I've decided to play it safe, and I allowed my first roll to land me on the TBR square. So I just have to read a book that's on my TBR, and I'm going with Ode to the Half Broken by Suzanne Palmer. This is an ARC that I received. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I believe it comes out in April, and I would like to read it before the date of its publication. That's usually how ARCs work, on top of the fact that I've discovered it counts for our fantasy. It counts for the bottom row. I think it's generic title for even hard mode, because half is a number, and broken is another kind of generic word that is within a title. There's a list that our fantasy gives you, and because we are preparing for a new Our Fantasy board for 2026 to be posted around April 1st, I need to get my blackout board. And so quite a few books that I'm hoping to read, if I can get them on the TBR, are going to be to finish those final squares that I just haven't gotten to this year. This is dystopian sci-fi cozy edition. I believe we are following a robot main character in a dystopian New York City, and there is a dog character. I have heard confirmation that the dog survives for those who feel like they need to know that, so I'm really excited about this. It's at this point probably going to be one of my most anticipated books of the year just because it feels like such a Leandra book. Okay, let's continue this train. And I got a 5. Oh my gosh. So once again, I've got quite a few options. Let's have a think about this for a moment. Okay, I've decided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Read a debut. That feels kind of a bit chancy. I don't know if any of the books I need to read this month are debuts. It would be exciting if they are, though. So we're going to go with that. I really can't remember, but I think this might be the first time that I've landed on debut novel, and I had a few options for different reasons, I realized, but I've decided to put in this square A Lonely Broadcast by Kel Byron. This is a debut novel. It's also self-published, which is quite exciting. It's a title I've been meaning to read for the last year because I originally put it on my Our Fantasy bingo card. So yet again, hopefully we're going to be fulfilling that square, and I'm hoping to also vlog it. So if you're interested in this title, or you're thinking, I've never heard of this, what's going on? Check it out when the vlog eventually comes out, because I'm really hoping it's going to be a hidden gem. It's horror, and it's following a main character who is based at a radio tower, and I've been told there's quite a bit of body horror. It's spooky, atmospheric. I'm excited. I think it's going to be quite camp, which is exactly the kind of horror that I like. Okay, 5 more rolls to go. And only really, I guess, 3 options if I want to go backwards. I don't want to go young adult. I feel like because I already started in adult fiction, that doesn't make sense. So we're going new or old, giving me 2 ways, either a super new release or maybe a classic. And we got a 1. So I didn't really have many options, but I decided to just go with new or old. And this one is quite new because it was only published in June 2025. This is another book that I'm hoping to read for Our Fantasy. It's called The Protege by Erica Ridley. I'm taking a bit of a risk because this is a YA title, and I just don't typically read from that age category. However, it looks quite interesting. I've got my laptop in front of me. A working class young woman would kill to become assistant to Paris's top modiste, but she must first seek vengeance against those responsible for the death of her family. Oh yeah, in this thrilling historical horror, and I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that there's a little bit of fantastical elements so I can count it for Our Fantasy. If not, it is what it is, because while horror, sci-fi, etc. do count, I feel as though realistic horror, that's not exactly what we're going with when we're thinking of speculative fiction. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens. This one is gonna be replacing my attempt for Mask of Mirrors when I was doing the high fashion square. I do want to give that book another shot. I will say that with every passing day, I'm dreading the idea of picking it back up. So maybe I just have to accept that it's not a book for me, even though everyone else is really enjoying it. But I'm thinking The Protégé will be quite a fun, quick read. And I'm trying to get back into horror in 2026. So I've got to do it by adding horror books to my TBR. Okay, thank goodness, because if we got another one, we would just be moving back to new or old. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, Renewal. And with a 3, I decided to land on Renewal. This can be interpreted in multiple ways, either renewing a book, renewing your love of a certain hobby. It doesn't have to be book related. Returning to an author you've loved, a genre that you've loved, a series that you've enjoyed, rereading a book. There are so many different ways that you can interpret the square. For me, I've decided to interpret it in that I have a book that I think I've said I'm going to read for more than a year, and I just haven't gotten to it, and that is The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August. This is a cozy sci-fi, yet again, a book I'm hoping to read for our fantasy, for that cozy SFF square, and I'm really hoping to love it. It was one of Danny's favorite books of the year last year, and so I feel as though I must love it. I love cozy sci-fi. I don't think I've really read a cozy sci-fi that I haven't enjoyed, and so this has got to be a winner for me, right? Plus, there's a cat on the cover. Come on. 3 rolls left. And oh my goodness, another one. Well, I mean, book on the cover. How hard can that be? So this next one made me do some digging around my own bookshelves because I landed on book on the cover, and no books that I need to read this next month have books on the cover, and that kind of baffles me. I'm so shocked, but I found a book that I'm really excited to read, and I need the excuse to read it if we're going to be honest. Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I loved Legends and Lattes when I read it for Battle of the Booktuber, and yet I haven't jumped back into the world of Baldree's fantasy, and I don't know why, because I'm so excited for this title. In fact, this was gifted to me by Vanessa, Read with Dr. B, and I don't know why I'm waiting so long. I really want to read it. I've only heard good things, and there is indeed a book on the cover. So yeah, I think it's a great reason to read it, and cozy fantasy. We're really leaning cozy this month in March, which, as I said before, because March is so dreary, I think that's the right way to go. I'm beginning to wonder if I can make my way all the way around the board. Oh my gosh, okay, maybe I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cozy activity sounds perfect. Finally, I got a big 6, meaning I had quite a few options, but I decided to go with cozy activity just to give me a little bit of a breather. Yes, I want a lot of books. I feel like I'm lying every time I say I want a big book, and then I do everything in my power to ensure I'm not getting that big of a book stack. Anyway, my mind is a weird place, but I do want to finish this blanket because I've been working on it for quite some time. And so I figure cozy activity that allows me the ability to allocate time towards this cozy craft without feeling as though I'm wasting time. Because I feel like that's what happens when we have hobbies that force us to sit still and just do something in concentration for a while. Other tasks, chores, appointments, errands end up getting pushed to the wayside, and we feel like we're not being productive enough. So cozy activity, let's get this blanket done. One more roll. Let's see what it's going to be. A 3. Okay, I've got options. The thing is, I do need to double check what other priority reads I haven't been able to add to the TBR yet. So I'll be right back. I'm going to look at that list, and then we're going to see what I'm going to have. 1, 2, 3, treat yourself. And with my final prompt, I am treating myself. And you know the way I'm going to do it? I'm going to add an Agatha Christie to this TBR, The 7 Dials Mystery. In fact, we're going to be reading it in March for only Christie in the Book Club, The Manor, my Patreon, and I'm really excited about it. This is a Christie I've never read before, so if you really enjoy it, let me know in the comments so I can get even more hyped about it. We're especially excited at The Manor because we're going to be hosting some watch parties of the new adaptation that just launched in January, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be a great time. what a good stack of books. I'm so pumped for this. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be reading in March, what middle grade books you might recommend me, especially because middle grade March is a thing. Books and Jams, Krista is one of the hosts. You should definitely check her out. In fact, I know they recently announced the readathon, so definitely check out that. I'll have that video linked in the description too for you. And let me know which books I've added you now are intrigued by and might add them to your own list, if not in March, in an upcoming month. And for the one physical copy that I've added to this TBR, I'm pretty sure I own Seven Dials Mystery, but I don't know where it is. So we're gonna go with Bookshops and Bone Dust. How about if you're not feeling chatty, I understand, leave me some emojis in the comments that are either books, maybe a sword, feathers, something to do with this cover here. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. I hope that you are staying safe, that you're taking care of yourselves, hydrating, eating, and I also hope you're having some good reads along the way. Until next time, bye everybody.